So you're thinking about moving to Salt Lake City, Utah, and you want to choose the right suburb. Well, I've put together a few things that might help you out, and I'm getting after it right now. Hey there, I'm Greg Spackman. And if you want to know everything there is to know about Salt Lake City, what it's like to live here, what it's like to eat, sleep, play, basically everything about Salt Lake City, then subscribe to my Living in Salt Lake City channel. And I'd love to help you if you're thinking about making a move here. So, how to choose the right suburb if you're moving to Salt Lake City, Utah. Number one would be you got to figure out which schools, if you have children and you want to know what school zones. So you're going to want to take a look at all the research online, like Great Schools is a great website to look at. School Digger is another one that I've had clients use that they really like. You just need to figure that part out if you have children that are going to be in schools. Also, the higher the rated the school is, typically that means the area is a better area. So that'll help guide you a little bit, but know that schools are really important to the area of where you're choosing. So look that up accordingly online, once again, on Great Schools or on School Digger. Number two on the list is a planned development. You want to know what the city that you're picking or suburb that you're picking, what they're planning in that area. So try to look up online for that city and see what they have as far as for future growth of the city. Are they all the way built out? Are they planning to add new things, such as like Draper is, they tore down or they're getting ready to tear down the prison there, and they're going to build this huge new area there with tons of shopping and other homes and just a bunch of things. So know that like something like Draper is going to be like completely changed, the whole city, just based on what they're going to be doing with that area of land. Number three on my list is health facilities. So you should look up and figure out like what health facilities are nearby. So how far is your doctor office going to be? How far is the nearest hospital? Are there any urgent care facilities nearby? Just that sort of thing. And you probably aren't thinking about health stuff when you're making a move. However, it's really nice if you have time and are able to plan ahead and make sure that those locations, or you can switch to a doctor that's going to be nearby. All of that makes a difference. And just, you never know when you're going to have an emergency. The hospital being not that far away is definitely something good to make note of. Number four on my list is safety. So as a real estate agent, I'm not able to guide you very much on as far as that goes. So we recommend that you look online and find out the crime rates and stuff like that, anything to do with crime in that area. But it's good to make note of that ahead of time, and you can research all that online, since myself or really any realtor is not supposed to be talking about that. For some reason, they don't want us to. I guess it's so that we don't steer you in some direction where you shouldn't be or something. So crime is, something that you should be aware of, and your safety as well, as that's a big piece of it. Number five is shopping. So you want to know how far away your grocery store is, where else you go, whether you go to Walmart or Target or Kohl's or Best Buy, whatever sort of shopping you're going to be doing in the city that you're looking at near Salt Lake City. Just make sure that you're okay with what sorts of shopping the town has. Some people like being in a town that has no real major shopping at all. And like where we currently live in Harriman, there really isn't much as far as shopping goes for you to do. There's, one grocery store, and then everything else is in Riverton, pretty much we're going to. So you just got to know ahead of time that where you're going for shopping, where it's located as far as what city you like and what kind of shopping you want. Do you want little mom and pop shops, or do you want the big megaplexes, with all the different stores in it? What sort of shopping are you looking forward to and want to go do? And then how far away do you want to be from that? Will help you narrow in on where you're going to want to be. Number six on the list is Parks and Rec. So are you into the Parks and Rec? Do you want to be able to use some of those facilities? Do you have kids that are going to be playing sports? All of that should be something that you're taking a look at to make sure that you are, putting yourself in a great place. And does that city or town have this sort of sporting events you want to do? The last thing you want to do is have your child be like we've had, where they're in baseball and then there isn't baseball in this town. So you're shuttling them like 30 minutes to their baseball practice, then you're waiting there, then you got a 30-minute drive back when you could have maybe moved somewhere else. And we've had clients that had their kids in ice hockey when we used to live in Tennessee, and it was like a 45-minute drive to the ice rink for them. And so we helped them move where they were like 15 minutes away. And then they were much, much happier because of how many times they had to go, drop off, come back, all of that. It's just a big time sink. And if you're not planning ahead, you wouldn't know that that could be an issue. So if your children are in sports, music, anything to do with Parks and Rec or any sort of sports, that's something for you to take a look at as well. Number 7 on the list is internet. While this isn't really a huge ordeal, but there are areas where they don't have good internet. And if you work from home and want gigabit internet, you want to make sure that we check into that and that you ask me ahead of time so you don't end up in an area where it has poor internet. Like for instance, right now we have CenturyLink, and that's gigabit internet, which is the fastest internet we've had anywhere so far. And I think we pay $60 a month for our internet, but you can pay more, 90, I think is what some people are paying. However, they do offer like a 2 gigabit service, I think, through the cable company. So if you wanted even faster internet than that, you could get that. You just want to take a look at where you're going to be moving. Some places won't have gigabit, and if gigabit is important to you, please let me know that so that I can help you get your high-speed internet. Number 8 would be restaurants, cafes, coffee shops, that sort of thing. You just want to make sure if you want to live where you're walking distance to some of that, or what type of restaurants that you like. If you just ask us, we're able to help you narrow down some choices about what types of food, what you like. So if you're a Mexican fan, then you wanted to get Mexican food, then, and you don't want it to be more than 5 or 10 minutes away, then you maybe don't want to move to a certain city or a certain area of the city so that you're too far away from being able to go eat. If you wanted to be able to walk to it, for instance, then that's another issue. There's not there's only certain places that will have walkability like that to restaurants and shops and whatnot. As far as coffee shops, there's a gazillion coffee shops here, but if you're a Starbucks fan, then there's only a certain number of Starbucks. And since we've been here in the last year and a half, we've seen more and more Starbucks appear. When we got here, there weren't very many. It felt kind of weird that there weren't, but there were a bunch of other coffee shops. So know that you can get plenty of coffee wherever you're wanting. However, just know that if you wanted to be close to a certain one, all we need to know is that you're wanting that so that we can make sure that we put you in the right place. Number 9 on the list is population growth. So you want to know if your town that you're picking, some of them are already pretty well built out, so their population will not increase much, if any. However, there are other towns where they're just building, like Harriman, for instance, and South Jordan. They're both still doing tons of new construction there, so their population is going to increase quite rapidly over the next few years. So make sure that you do some research and know that the different cities have a certain amount of population and they have the potential to grow to a certain level. So if you wanted it to remain small or you want it to be a huge city, then we can make adjustments where you're looking as far as that goes too. And I would say number 10 is probably the most important thing, and that's the feeling and vibe. And really, the only way you're going to get the feeling and vibe is to be here and to be able to drive through the city, get out and experience some of the restaurants and shops, and just get that sort of feeling that you're looking for. And every town really has its own vibe, from Bluffdale to Riverton to Harriman, South Jordan, Murray, Midvale, South Salt Lake City, just everywhere for towns are going to have a different vibe and feel to them. So just being here and being able to drive around, one of the things I normally suggest to people relocating here to Salt Lake City is that they come in for a couple days and they'll meet with me at my office, and then we go and I'll kind of give them a list of some areas of where they're thinking about going or wanting to move, and they can drive around and get a good idea of it, and then they'll let me know, hey, I really liked Draper, so I think we want to move there. And then I'll find some homes that we can go take a look at, and they can get an idea of what their dollar will spend or what they can buy for their money, about what's available. Even if they're coming, in 6 months, those homes may be gone, but they'll have a good idea of what the homes have as far, inside, and the way that the layouts kind of go, and where their money's going to go. So the feeling and vibe is really, really important. Probably one of the most important things on this list. And the only real way is for you to be here, to be able to breathe the air and walk around and just get that feeling. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you're thinking about making a move here to the Salt Lake City area, please reach out to me. That's the only way I can help you. I'm available, text, phone, email, whatever's best for you. Nights, weekends, just get in touch with me. I'd love to help you on your move here to Salt Lake City.